Some exciting breaking news as of today or this past weekend. The WHO has suspended indefinitely the launch of the pandemic treaty after member states failed to reach an agreement. So I want to make some comments because this treaty, if it were to have passed, would have been very detrimental to freedom because it would have united the world in the negative way, in that it would have given power over to a certain group of people. And because millions of people are waking up, they have been crying wolf in having sovereignty over their nations and their lives, their freedoms, because they don't want to be told what to do because of the nightmare that we experienced with the pandemic. And you lived through that. We all lived through that. And in the moment, we were given fear. We were given peer pressure. We were told that this was the science and all that stuff. And again, I can't get into the detail in this video because it's going to get censored. But if you know, if you have done the research and you are not privy to the sheep mentality of people taking certain things, injecting certain things, and then doing this based on this, inclination and quote unquote science and all that stuff, when we had the church, we had the Lord, we had protection in the spiritual. And if you have heard me over the last few years, you didn't have to take all these things and be living in fear. You should never be operating out of emotion and fear. That is not of God. God, he will dictate the individual movements of a church, of a body, and you are not subject to the totalitarian authority of some government entity telling you what to do, shut down your churches, do this and that, and all that stuff. And so this is a big move, but I want to make a couple of comments because I don't want to say this was easy, but if it was easy for this pushback to happen with people rising up, giving their reservations or hesitations, and then you had this WHO and other entities, crying wolf, saying that they're disappointed, this is not the end, and just going on and bickering about this stuff while the individual countries, the people are saying this is a huge victory. If this is happening now, then it's a sign, okay? And again, people are going to disagree with me on this, that the end is not near yet. Because if you study the Bible, Satan will have a time during the tribulation period for 7 years, and people thinking it's around the corner. Satan has to be given over the keys of the world where they are united, and he can have totalitarian authority over everybody, dictatorship over everybody. And it's not going to just not make sense, right? There's going to be a direction, right? Where whether it's some global organization, whether it's the UN and then becomes the whole nation, all of the world, they're going to move in a direction for which they're going to give up autonomy to some higher authority. And then Satan will come and take the keys to the earth and to the world and control it. So this is not coming realistically, rationally speaking, in the next year. It's not coming this year. It's not going to happen in the next 3 years because look at rationally, logically, where the direction is. People are fighting back. They're understanding the globalist agenda. It's a false introduction of the end times because people think that it's coming very soon. But again, the devil likes to play tricks. He wants to trick you into thinking that that's going to come. And there's a lot of this infighting. He wants to usher it in early, but it's not happening. And there has to be a lot of things that need to play out. And you even have, and again, heaven forbid, it's terrible, but the Israel, Gaza conflict and all that, the Palestinian stuff and all of that happening, a lot of it has to sort out it according to Bible prophecy. And then you will see that there are temple built. You see many things happen. And then we will be ushered into the end time. So Bible prophecy has not been fulfilled yet in its entirety of certain things that need to happen. And you have to think about it rationally. How is it that Satan is going to have control over the whole world if we can't even, we as in countries can't agree on these types of treaties? Because Satan will easily have authority over member countries or however it's going to appear later on. So this is what is in some sense good news. But on the other hand, you have to think about it contextually, culturally speaking, with regards to eschatology, end times, prophecy, and all that stuff. So again, I've been saying before, stop sounding the alarm bells. For many people, the rapture rug, roll it up. Don't think that, he's coming next week. Don't make your decisions based on, okay, Jesus is for sure coming this year, next year. Everybody's been saying that for many years. He's not coming very soon. He's coming soon. It's into the end times. We can disagree about how many years, how many decades, even centuries, whatever it is, but he's not coming next year. He's not coming this year. And so you can quote me on this, come back to me and tell me next year that, okay, you're right, he didn't come this year or next year. So this is why people are acting irrationally with regards to certain things, whether it's your personal investments, whether it's your own, livelihood and how to kind of go about the next couple of years. You want to be ready for the stuff that will go down inevitably, but you don't want to make it seem like everything is going to end, right? So a lot is happening. I know a lot of stuff has to be shaken out, but we're moving into good times. And this is why a lot of us have been criticized for teaching or preaching, declaring these things out into the public, because a lot of us have this doom and gloom, rapture rug mentality, but that's not the case. So I just want to encourage you guys, this is good news, but more is coming. Of course, demonic forces, they're going to try to do whatever it is that they can to instill their power and their authority. But we, the people, we are rising up. And so internet, freedom of speech and all this stuff is helping, pave the way for this. But we have to continue praying and standing up and doing our part. It looks like you're being some tyrannical, crazy, lunatic, conspiracy theorist, somebody that takes action, and mixing humility and meekness with, inaction. You can't be doing that. You have to take action for your kids, your family, your community, and you have to step up. Otherwise, they're going to stomp on you. They're going to stomp on the weak Christians. And this is what's happening. People are getting wiped out, ideologically speaking, psychologically speaking, from cultural things, everything. But those that are stepping up and standing up, God is calling them. They're being used for big things, and it's a good time. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon. So I also want to mention quickly that yesterday I posted a video about one-on-one private calls with me. I'm opening this up for 1 month. I know for years people have been asking to speak to me, and they would even pay. People will be shocked at sort of the price and all that, but this is meant for those that really can afford it. Businesses, organizations, even churches that have opted or wanted to speak to me and they wanted to pay to do so. This is the time that I want to give you guys to kind of offer this. God, I believe, has given me that green light just for a short period. So I have for years opted to not speak to anybody. It was an all or nothing thing just to be quote unquote fair, but I've opened this up. So if you are interested, that link is down below. It's on a Calendly website. You can schedule the time and I will get back to you and we can arrange some details. And if you want to be very specific on certain topics, you can do that. So again, this message is for a very specific small group of people, not for everybody. So I want to just put that out there. It's only for about another month and that's it. So love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.